Hold on 1 second. Gotta finish up a project. All right, what's up?
We need to talk.
All right, we'll talk after this, I guess. Okay, Derek, I don't think my realtor is doing their job. I found the house we want on my own without the help of my realtor. Should I fire them? Howie Mandel? What? Are you firing me? Why? So should you fire your agent? It's a question that no one really likes to talk about because no one wants to fire anybody, but it's something that might happen, and the only reason that that would happen is because the expectations were not set properly. It all boils down to expectations and setting the right expectations. Guys, I've told you this multiple times on multiple videos. It's about setting those expectations in your buyer meeting or setting those expectations in your listing appointment. And to be honest with you, it is very common these days with Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com and Redfin and our website and my website and RealTracks and the apps that you can use and HomeSnap for you to be able to find that house without your realtor. You're gonna be looking at homes for you specifically all day, every day. Whereas your realtor will be looking homes for you at a certain point of the day because they have meetings they have to get to. They have other clients they also have to look for property for. They're not just looking specifically for you, they are looking for multiple people. So you, of course, naturally are probably gonna see a house before they do, which is fine. And if the expectation is set properly, the agent needs to let you know that that might happen. And if it does, no problem. Just shoot me over the address, let me do the research. Because one thing that you're probably not gonna be able to find is that house in a flood zone? That's a big one, right? So I wanna check, is it in a flood zone? Another thing you're not gonna be able to see is the Realtor Remarks, which are private remarks for realtors to look at. And it goes into more in depth about the property. Maybe some things that they don't wanna tell everybody, but they are there and they're disclosed just because they have to be. Sometimes they put things that are in there that convey with the property or don't convey with the property. Or you don't know that. And it might've been something that you really wanted, like the play set in the background. You wanted that for your kid, right? Well, if it's in the Realtor Remarks and it says that, oh, I'm sorry, this doesn't stay with the property or does not convey, you don't get that play set and you're not really happy about that, right? So the things that we as realtors see that you might not see are still important, and it's okay for you to find the house first, just as long as we get to look at it, go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure it's a good buy. So if you're asking yourself, should I fire my agent? Then you need to have a conversation with your agent. You need to sit down with them and discuss this with them because your communication with them is extremely important. You need to be able to communicate with them effectively, but they need to do the same with you. So if they may have missed some type of expectation on the front end and didn't tell you exactly what they thought they told you, they just don't know that, they're not gonna know without you telling them. So sit down with your agent, set up a meeting and just say, hey, look, we need to start over or start from scratch or whatever it is, or address this one specific problem, because at the end of the day, you need to trust them and they need to trust you. So what I do on my front end of every buyer appointment, I say the same thing. I say, number one, you need to trust me. I know what I'm doing. No matter what, I need you to trust me, because as soon as that trust level's gone, it's gonna be hard to get back. Number two, I need you to be honest with me, right? So if you have some type of problem or a communication barrier is broken, you need to be honest with your agent and let them know that on the front end. And even if it's on the back end, you just need to let them know so they don't do that with any other clients. So those are the two huge things, is trusting and being honest. It'll take you a long way with your agent. So all these things are things that are after you've already set that buyer meeting and after you've already talked and met with your agent. So those are all things that are post that meeting. But to be honest with you, the best piece of advice I have is for you to sit down and make these things known on the front end. You have to figure out if that agent's a good fit on the front end, not the back end, because then it's almost too late, right? So instead, when you're sitting down and you're meeting with your agent, make sure you ask the right questions. Make sure that you sit with them and you go, hey, is this person a good fit? Because this agent might be passive, but you're not a passive person. They might be direct, but you are a passive person. And then there's multiple other different types, but there's nothing wrong with being a passive agent. There's nothing wrong with being direct. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's what works for you. And you have to figure out what works for you, and you have to be honest with yourself. Is this agent just somebody I'm using because so-and-so said to? Or is this agent somebody that I really feel like I could trust and I really feel like I'm gonna have a good working relationship and will actually take care of me and do the right thing? That's what you have to ask yourself when you sit down with them on the front end. But knock it out then, and you won't have to worry what happens in the back end.
Anybody can do it. I want you to feel every feeling there is. I want you to have tears.
Why, Howie? Why? No! I just can't take it! The one click before I did it just had me rolling, bro. I can't do it, man. Look at me. I can't do it. Hold on. Just let's wait a second, all right? It's hot in here. All right. We can get it. It's fine. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not getting into that. All right, ready? I'm sick of running. All right, ready?